Hi, I'm Chasing Lives, a second-year part-time PhD student in Singapore. 2 years ago, I moved out of my parents' place and rented a room in an apartment closer to my lab. Now that my rental contract is coming to an end in May and I've decided to move back home, I thought it will be a good time to share some of the things I've learned from this whole experience. One of the things I realized after moving out is that money can buy happiness, at least more than what I used to think. It's only when I started living on my own that I truly understood the real financial cost of living in Singapore. Beyond just rent, there were so many hidden costs I never noticed when I was living with my parents. Things like utilities, Wi-Fi, groceries, toilet paper, basic furniture. These were things I completely took for granted at home. And this was the first time I felt real financial stress. I started tracking where my money was going each month, and even though I knew I could afford it, there was always this pressure to stay within budget, to stretch my paycheck, and to save for emergencies. It made me realize how tiring it can be to constantly think about money, and how important it is to build a financial safety net. After I graduated, I used to think that there was no real need to earn a lot. But now, after moving out, I honestly want to earn more. Because at the end of the day, money to a certain extent buys freedom. The freedom to live on your own, buy meals, and enjoy little things without stressing over every price tag. Due to the financial stress that comes along with renting, I learned about the concept of financial independence. Renting and moving out indirectly forced me to start learning about basic financial concepts, and most importantly, investing. For our generation, I think it's no longer possible to achieve what our parents' generation did, just by earning a fixed salary and saving up. I used to be pretty nonchalant about investing. I thought it was something only rich people did. But after moving out and feeling that financial pressure firsthand, I started to actively learn about investing. And I realized that investing isn't just for the rich. It's a way to build wealth, and it's something you need to start early. To be honest, I still hate dealing with numbers, and I'm still not interested in investing. But I forced myself to pick up some basic investment skills I probably would have never bothered to learn if I had stayed home comfortably. Looking back, I think that's actually one of the most important skills I gained from moving out, even if I didn't set out to learn it. Renting taught me how to be independent, and over time, I realized I really value this independence. I learned to deal with so many things on my own, paying bills, cleaning, doing laundry, cooking, and supporting myself when I was sick or injured. I realized that toilet paper doesn't just magically appear, the house doesn't stay clean by itself, and food doesn't just appear in the fridge out of nowhere. My parents were doing all these little things for me at home. Things I never even noticed. Of course, there are still some things I absolutely cannot deal with, like catching a cockroach. Whenever I see one, I'll still scream for my housemate or the cat to come and save me. But despite that, I really appreciate the freedom that came with living on my own. I could do things the way I wanted. sleep until 11 am, come home at 2 am, or just lie on my bed and relax for as long as I wanted, without having to explain myself to anyone. I didn't constantly have people telling me what to do. For once, I didn't have to try and live up to my parents' expectations. I could just be me. Moving out might be associated with loneliness, but for me, it wasn't really like that. I didn't exactly feel lonely renting my own room. I'll often chat with my roommate, catch up with my landlady, or play around with the 2 cats in the house. The cats honestly made my day. Just having them around gave me comfort. And I know I could never keep one if I was still living with my parents. I think I would feel lonely if I eventually lived completely alone, but for now, I didn't. In fact, compared to living with my parents, I actually felt a little less lonely. Maybe because I could be more of myself. I could talk when I felt like it, and when I didn't, I could just stay in my room without being interrogated like I sometimes was at home. And while I was living away from home, I suddenly saw what my dream life could actually look like. The original plan was to stay with my parents until I get married, and only then move out. But now, I think I really want my own place. I want my own cats, financial independence, a job I enjoy. I don't want to plan my life around someone else anymore. I want to build the life I want in my own way. And now it's time to move back home, because I've seen what I want and I know I'll need time and resources to build it. Moving home means giving up some of the independence for now, but it also means I can focus on saving, investing, and slowly building my wealth. I've lived the version of freedom I used to dream about, and now I want to work towards a version that's sustainable.